There are choices we make in life that feel like gentle nudges, small, almost forgettable decisions that barely ripple the surface. And then there are the other ones, the ones that rearrange the entire architecture of who we are. Choosing whether or not to become a mother belongs firmly in that second category. It's a decision wrapped in responsibility, wrapped in biology, wrapped in culture, wrapped in expectations that started long before any of us were born. It's long term, high stakes, a choice that shapes not only our own future, but the future of someone who doesn't even exist yet, someone who will depend on us for everything: food, safety, guidance, identity, meaning. Motherhood is often described as natural, instinctive, inevitable. But when you look closely, it's something far more intricate. It's the slow transformation of a helpless little creature into a person who can stand on their own feet. A person who will one day make decisions, form opinions, fall in love, get hurt, recover, and carry pieces of us into a world we won't always be around to see. Raising a child is not a task. It's not a project. It's a long, imperfect art form, part sculpting, part gardening, part weather forecasting. You shape, you nurture, you guess, you hope, and you learn over and over that children are not blank canvases. They arrive with their own temperament, their own rhythm, their own blueprint, and the real work is learning how to guide them without erasing them. Yet for something so complex, society still manages to oversimplify it. There's this old, stubborn idea that a woman's primary purpose is to tend the home and raise children. We know it's outdated, but it still lingers like an heirloom no one asked for but everyone inherited. At the same time, raising a child is a full-time job, so women often find themselves caught in a strange contradiction, expected to work as if they don't have children and raise children as if they don't work. The modern world didn't make this easier. Somewhere along the way, having it all quietly morphed into doing it all, and many women are left juggling careers, households, relationships, and motherhood with the grace of someone trying to carry too many fragile objects at once. And the truth is, not everyone can afford to set one of those objects down. Bills don't pause for maternity leave. Rent doesn't care about sleep deprivation. Life doesn't wait for the perfect moment to hand us a child, a crisis, or a promotion. So we adapt. We rely on nannies we barely know. We lean on grandparents who love deeply but sometimes bring their own outdated rules, their own stories, their own uninvited advice. We negotiate. We compromise. We worry. And deep down, many women feel the quiet ache of wanting to be present for their child in those early formative years, the years when a bond is built not through grand gestures, but through thousands of tiny, ordinary moments. Because the best things a mother can offer aren't things you can outsource: attention, patience, compassion, guidance, presence. And there's no checklist for that, no manual, no guaranteed formula, just a long series of choices, some good, some questionable, all made with the hope that love will be enough. But motherhood is not a universal experience. Some people grow up with mothers who were distracted, overwhelmed, or simply not ready, and that leaves a mark. A quiet, lifelong bruise that shapes how we think about family, love, and responsibility. It can make motherhood look like a test you're destined to fail, or a role you're afraid to step into because you've seen how badly it can go. For many, the shadow of their parents' broken marriage or emotional absence becomes a filter through which they view their own relationships. Red flags become easier to spot, commitment becomes harder to trust, and the idea of raising a child in anything less than a stable, loving environment feels like a risk too great to take. And then there's the biological clock, that mythical ticking sound society insists every woman hears. Except not everyone does. Some women wait for that feeling and it never arrives. Some consider motherhood only to be met with medical complications that close the door before they've even decided whether they want to walk through it. And that can leave a quiet, unresolved grief, the kind that doesn't scream but hums beneath the surface. A sense of wondering, did I miss something, or was this simply not my path? Because the truth is, not every woman is meant to be a mother. Some dedicate themselves to careers, to science, to art, to missions that reshape the world in ways that don't involve raising a child. And yet they often carry the weight of being misunderstood, as if choosing a different purpose is a betrayal of some ancient script. Others lose the possibility of motherhood to illness or circumstance, and they carry a different kind of silence, one filled with longing, confusion, and the need to pour their maternal instincts into other corners of life: mentorship, friendship, community, creation. Love doesn't disappear, it simply finds new roots. And then there's the pressure, the family questions, the subtle comments, the not-so-subtle expectations. Many people step into motherhood because the world around them nudges, pushes, or insists, and sometimes that leads to resentment or regret or the quiet admission, whispered only to oneself, that the timing was wrong or the partner was wrong or the life was not ready to expand in that direction. But motherhood is not something you can undo. Once you're in, you're in. And even women who realize they made the wrong choice still show up day after day, doing the best they can with the life they have. There's a certain bravery in that, a kind that rarely gets acknowledged. The truth is, there is no perfect mother, no perfect marriage, no perfect timing. Life is messy, unpredictable, and rarely follows the script we were handed as children. But what we can do, whether we become mothers or not, is approach the decision with honesty, with clarity, with an open heart and a grounded mind. Motherhood is not a requirement. It's not a measure of worth. It's not a checkbox on the life timeline. It's a path, one of many, and each of us has the right to choose whether it's ours. And if you're still figuring it out, still questioning, still carrying old wounds or unspoken grief, you're not alone. Most of us are navigating these questions quietly, trying to make peace with the lives we've built and the ones we didn't. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you find comfort in these conversations, the honest, unpolished ones, I hope you'll come back. There's a certain steadiness in walking through adulthood together, and I'm here for that journey, one thoughtful step at a time. Over and out.